Hey friends, and welcome to this new video. Today is a really special day because finally the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. After months and months of waiting, after so many theories, speculations and teasers, Garten of Banban 8 is finally making its official debut. The new chapter of the saga is almost here. But wait, because today is not only about the release of chapter. The Euphoric brothers have prepared something really important that will also be revealed today, together with the game. What could it be? We're going to find out together in this video, so stay with me until the end because I promise it will be worth it. But before we start guys, if you're a Garten of Banban fan like me and you don't want to miss any updates about chapter 8 and all the upcoming news, then make sure to subscribe right now to the channel and leave a big like on this video. Every day I upload theories, news, leaks and gameplay about this saga, and trust me, what's coming next is going to be huge. In this video, we're not only going to talk about the official release of chapter 8, but we'll also analyze what will happen after the release of chapter 8. So, get ready, because the journey into the garden is about to begin. And this time it's going to be scarier, darker, and more mysterious than ever before. Now let's talk about a topic that is creating a lot of buzz in the community, the announcement that the Euphoric brothers will most likely make today. As we all know, the Euphoric brothers follow a very precise strategy every time they release a new chapter. If you've been following the saga until now, you've surely noticed that every time, just a few minutes after the official release of a chapter, they drop the very first teaser trailer for the next one. It's a move they've used for a long time to build hype and keep the players engaged, and in the past, it has worked perfectly. So, if we look at their history, it's absolutely possible that the same thing will happen again this time. This means that today, right after the release of chapter 8, we might see the release of the first teaser trailer for the next chapter. And this would be huge because it would confirm that the project is already in motion and that the developers are working in parallel on future content. However, there is one extremely important detail to consider. Everything depends on chapter 8. If the new chapter turns out to be the final chapter of the saga, then it's very likely that there won't be any teaser trailer at all. This would mean that today, with the release of chapter 8, the entire Garten story would officially come to an end. In that case, the Euphoric brothers might focus all their efforts on new projects or maybe even a dedicated spin-off for a specific character. But if chapter 8 isn't the last one, then everything changes completely. In that case, today we could actually get a brand new teaser trailer, and it would be the very first official hint about what's coming next. And this brings us to the most important question of all. What will the next chapter be? Right now, the community is divided into two major groups. On one side, there are those who believe the next game will be Garten of Banban. 5. What happened to this chapter? On the other side, there are fans who are convinced the next game will be Garten of Banban 9. At the moment, unfortunately, we don't have any official confirmation, and the only way to find out is to wait for today's announcement. What we do know for sure is that if a teaser trailer does drop, it will be crucial to understand the direction the entire saga is heading. And in the next part of the video, we'll analyze all the possible options and look closely at the clues that could help us figure out whether the Euphoric brothers are taking us back to the past with chapter 5 or pushing us into a dark future with chapter 9. As we mentioned in the previous part, right now the main theories in the community are two. According to many fans, the next game after chapter 8 will either be chapter 5 or chapter 9. However, today I also want to analyze with you a third possibility that in the last few days has started gaining attention among fans. The next chapter might not have either of these two numbers and could follow a completely different numbering, maybe jumping straight to chapter 10. In fact, if we think back to what happened in the past, there's a very important precedent we cannot ignore. After chapter 4, the next game released by the Euphoric brothers was not chapter 5, but directly chapter 6. This choice, which seemed unexpected at the time, surprised the entire community and showed us that the developers are not following a linear and predictable timeline. The story of Garten moves across multiple layers of time, with jumps forward and backward that are revealed little by little. And for this very reason, we cannot rule out the possibility that the Euphoric brothers could make a similar move again this time, skipping a number and going straight to chapter 10. But first, let's focus on the two main possibilities, because each of them opens up completely different scenarios. If the next game turns out to be chapter 9, then it's very likely that today we'll already see a first teaser trailer dedicated to the new chapter. This teaser would be extremely important because it would represent the very first official preview of the saga's future content. Not only that, but together with the teaser, the Euphoric brothers might also release the brand new official Steam page for chapter 9. And this, everyone, is a huge detail because the Steam page has always been a source of crucial information for those who follow the saga closely. On that page, we'd finally be able to see the very first official screenshots of the game, and most importantly, we'd get direct confirmation of who the main mascot of the next chapter will be. Let's not forget that every chapter introduces new key characters, often creepy and mysterious mascots, which become an essential part of the story. The developers have always hidden subtle clues in the very first screenshots and teasers, and almost every time, these details reveal the role and personality of the new mascot. That's why, if the Steam page gets published today, we'll immediately start analyzing every single pixel, every shadow, and every hidden detail to figure out who the next big antagonist will be. On the other hand, if the next game turns out to be Chapter 5, the situation would change completely. In any case, whatever number they choose, everything depends on Chapter 8. If this new chapter is not the last, then today we might witness one of the most important announcements in the entire series. Now let's focus on another very interesting possibility. What could happen if the next chapter is Chapter 5? In this scenario, things would change completely compared to Chapter 9 and would open up very different paths for the future of the saga. The first important thing to know is that the official Steam page for Chapter 5 is already online. This means that if the next game really turns out to be Chapter 5, we won't see the release of a brand new Steam page today. However, this doesn't mean at all that the Euphoric brothers won't have surprises prepared for us. In fact, even though the Steam page already exists, it's highly likely that if Chapter 5 is announced, the developers will release the very first official teaser trailer. And this is where things become really exciting, because until now, we've seen very little of this chapter. At the moment, everything we know about Chapter 5 comes from very few official materials released by the Euphoric brothers. Specifically, we've seen one header image on the Steam page and a single screenshot that gave us a small glimpse of the setting and, most importantly, the main mascot of the game. But here's the thing, so far, we've only seen this mascot in static images. No video, no animations, no real preview of how it will move or interact within the game world. And this is where the most exciting possibility comes into play. If today we get a new teaser trailer dedicated to Chapter 5, we might finally see for the very first time the main mascot in 3D. This would be an incredibly important moment for all fans, because a teaser trailer would give us crucial information not only about the character's appearance, but also about its behavior, its movement style, and maybe even some details about the story itself. Additionally, we can't rule out the possibility that, along with the teaser, the developers might also release new official screenshots directly on the Steam page. And that would mean having fresh elements to study, new environments to analyze, and maybe even more hidden clues about the storyline and the secondary characters we'll meet in the game. In short, if the next chapter really turns out to be Chapter 5, today could be an incredibly rich day full of new information. Even without a new Steam page, we'd still have plenty of material to work with and content to discover. In just a few hours, we'll finally know the truth. Chapter 8 is about to arrive, and with its official release just around the corner, we'll finally get all the answers we've been waiting for over the past months. We'll discover not only how the story continues, but also what the real future of the saga will be and which chapter will come next. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. You are amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.